व्यासः यस्य आस्य कमलगलितं वाङ्मयममृतं जगत्पिबति व्यासाय भवनाशाय श्रीशाय गुणराशये हृद्याय शुद्धविद्याय मध्वाय च नमो नमः। नारायणं सुरगुरुं जगदेकनाथं भक्तप्रियं सकललोकनमस्कृतं च त्रैगुण्यवर्जितमजं विभुमाद्यमीशं वन्दे भवग्नम् अमरासुरसिद्धवन्द्यं नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। My dear friends, we were discussing the glory of Bhagavad Gita, the preparation for the Bhagavad Gita, how to, before the entry into the main Bhagavad Gita, so we were knowing how we have to prepare physically and mentally. In that regard, we had covered almost 5 shlokas of glory, which has 7 shlokas composed, which starts from Gita Shastramidam Punyam Yapate Priyat Puman Vishnu Padamavapnoti Bhayashokadi Varjitara Gita Adhyayana Shilasya Pranayama Parasya Cha Naiva Santihi Papani Purva Janma Kritani Cha. I am just repeating this just for your reference. Malanirmochanam Pumsam Jalasnanam Dine Dine Sakrat Gitam Bhasisnanam Samsara Malanashanam Gita Sugita Kartavya Kimanye Shastra Vistarehi या स्वयं पद्मनाभस्य मुखपद्मात् विनिसृता भारतामृत सर्वस्वं विष्णोर्वक्त्रात् विनिसृतं गीता गंगोदकं पीत्वा पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते. These are the 5 shlokas. Whenever you chant these shlokas, whatever the meaning I have explained here, that should strike your mind. Whenever you chant the meaning of all these 5 shlokas, it should come into like a picture in your mind. That is anusandhana. Arthanusandhana. Without Arthanusandhana, you should not chant any shloka. So that is the intention of Vedavyasa. So that's why he says, Nyayam Pathyamcha Tadvayam. First you must understand. And then do Patana. So the 5th one, I had started that. Sarvopanishado Gavo Dugdha Gopalanandana Partho Vatsaha Sudhir Bhokta Dugdham Gitamritam Mahat. I had explained to you the first line. The whole Upanishads, Sarvopanishado Gavo, the whole Vedic wisdom, what we have, Upanishads, Vedas, Puranas, include everything. Sarvopanishado Gavo, that's why he say only one word. They don't say the word Vedas or Puranas or anything. They say that Upanishad. Upanishad is the ultimate of everything. Even the Vedas, even the Puranas are Mahapurana, and even there are so many Upapuranas, everything. What is the ultimate knowledge? Upanishad. What do you know? What do you mean by Upanishad? Upanishad means the word Upa, that which elevates us mentally. That is called as Upanishad. That's why that word Upa means up. There is another meaning. Upa means they say near. But here, this meaning of up will apply everywhere. In all the languages, the word Upa means has become up. The word English word UP is up. The same thing of it has come from the Sanskrit language Upa. Upari Nishadayati iti Upanishad. That which elevates us mentally, ultimate. That is the ultimate of all the Vedic wisdom. That's why it is called as Upanishad. That's why even here in glory of Bhagavad Gita, Sarvopanishado Gavo. They did not say any Vedas, or they did not take any name of any Puranas or anything. But they have even taken the name of Upanishad in all the languages. In all the languages, even in Hindi we say Upar, Upper, Upar, in Kannada Upparige, everything meaning upper. It is not near there. That which elevates us. As much as high you go nearer to God. That's the reason. Though He is everywhere, He has been proclaimed. God is there everywhere, but still we say that He is up. That's why in our consciousness it is there already. We say that God only knows, the hand goes up without your knowledge. Nobody say God only knows. Nobody say God only knows. So these are not, it is there in our conscience that koi bhi Allah jane bolega. Jesus knows. Whatever you say, the ultimate God, your hand goes up, that is up. He is there everywhere. Though He is everywhere, Sarvagata, but He is predominantly He is existing there. So that's why the hand goes up. Sarvopanishado Gavo. The whole Upanishad. Even in all other languages, in Kannada, in English, in Hindi, we say that upar, upper. Even in German, obey, we say. If you know German language, there they say that O-B-E-R, obey. That means it is up only. So all languages take this Sanskrit as the main root. Without this Sanskrita root, the other languages doesn't exist. It may be in another corrupted form, but still the root is in Sanskrita. So that's why Sarvopanishado Gavo, all the Upanishads, they are like cow. Dobdha Gopala Nandana. They have given a beautiful example of cow and how we get the cow products. All the Upanishads are like cow. Dobdha Gopala Nandana. Who is the person who is Govada? Govada means one who extracts the milk. He is Lord Krishna. Dobdha Gopala Nandana. Partho Vatsaha. What do you mean by Vatsa here? Vatsa means wo गाय का बछड़ा जो होता है ना, छोटा. So that is called as Vatsa. Partha, who is the calf here? That is Arjuna is calf. Partho Vatsaha. Sudhir Bhokta, they say that. What is that Sudhi? Sudhi means all the sajjanas in this world. Sudhi. Su means Sushtu, good. All good people. All people who are having Bhagavad Jnana or inclination towards God, or people having God consciousness, they are all good people. Partho Vatsara Sudhir Bhokta. Bhokta means who is the benefiter of this Bhagavad Gita. All good people who have inclination towards God. That means who has God consciousness. Only those people are the benefiters of this Bhagavad Gita. So that is the glory of Bhagavad Gita. It says, Partho Vatsara Sudhir Bhokta. Sudhi, that is D means, that is intelligence there. Are people having good attitude, good intentions, and everywhere Satvika there. When Satvika prevails in a human being, then that person's life, it blossoms like anything. So that's why Partho Vatsaha Sudhir Bhokta Dugdham. So we have the first and the foremost important thing, the product of milk. The product of cow is milk. Dugdham, what is the Dugdha here? That is Gitamritam. Gita is like nectar. Even milk is considered as nectar in life because mother's milk is the only milk which is considered as nectar to the baby. For some other reason, one or the other reason, if that mother's milk is not available, then the immediate next substitute for that mother's milk is cow's milk. Cow's milk is very much compatible to our body. Human body. Even a small baby, 1 day baby, if the mother's milk is not available, then they give this cow's milk. So cow is Gavo Vishwasya Matara. This is the most beautiful statement what we see in Shastras. Gavo Vishwasya Matara. The mother of everyone, the mother of all the human beings. We take birth from our mother, but who is the next second mother? That is cow. Cow is considered as second mother. Gavo Vishwasya Matara. So the whole world has to pray or praise the glory of the cow. Because even, see all the products of the cow. See, God has given auspiciousness only in this animal. See, Malamutra of any other animal, it is considered as waste or it is considered as inauspicious. But whereas, even the urine and cow dung is considered as very auspicious and it is very pure. God has given this property in only this animal. There are other animals also, like snail. We have this shankha. It is nothing but the bone of that creature. But still shankha is considered as very auspicious. So like that we have the product of cow, that is milk, is considered as very, very auspicious. So Dugdham Gitamritam Mahat. Gitamritam Mahat, they say. Mahat means it is ultimate. So there is nothing beyond this cow's milk. So that is, cow's milk is considered as nectar. It is life-giving. Ayurveda says, see, we must know all the different places where, what is the significance of cow's milk? Atra gamyantu jivaniyam rasayanam kshatakshinayitam medyam balyam stanyakaram saram Shrama Brahma Lakshmi, Shwasa Kasa Titrakshudaha, Jirana Juram, Mutra Kricharam, Ratta Pittancha Nashi. If any Ayurveda student is there, you will definitely know this shloka which is there in Ashtanga Hridaya. It says, the importance of cow's milk. Charaka explains this. Atra gavyam tu jivaniyam rasayanam. It is a life giver. It is a rasayana, a rejuvenator. Kshatakshinahitam medhyam. It is an intelligence, that which improves our intelligence. Medhya. Medhya means that which improves our intelligence. So these are the glory of just cow's milk. So they have compared the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita to cow's milk. There is nothing beyond this. So cow's milk is considered as ultimate. All Shastras say cow's milk is considered as nectar. That's why they say that Gita Amritam, Gita Rupi Amrita, that is milk. Dugdham Gita Amritam Mahat. So I think it is the gist of everything is hidden in this Upamana. So where the best example is given as cow, its calf, and the people who are pious people, and the Gita Amrita. Everything is compared to cow and cow products. So this is the ultimate explanation given by the glory in Vedavyasa's propoundation. That is the most beautiful way of explaining Bhagavad Gita glory there. So, Sarvopanishado Gavo, Dogdha Gopalanandanaha, Partho Vatsaha Sudhir Bhokta Dugdham Gitamrutam Mahat. The last but not the least, the last one which says that Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Geetam, Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva, Eko Mantras Tasya Namani Yani, Karma Apekam Tasya Devasya Seva. Ultimate. The shloka which ends with Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Geetam. There is only one Shastra in this world, that is Devaki Putra Geetam. So he is the son of Devaki. So he is called as Devaki Nandan, Lord Krishna's name. So, Ekam Shastra, there is only one Shastra. That Shastra is nothing but Devaki Putra Gita. There are so many Gitas I told you. But still, Devaki Putra Gita is the only one ultimate Shastra. Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Gitam. Eko Devo, there is one God, only one God. Devaki Putra Eva, they say. That is also only one. That is Devaki Putra Eva. There is no other God. All other gods are demigods. Only one God is Krishna. Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. That's what it says. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. So he is the only one God. Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva. Then there is only one mantra. There are so many mantras. Eko mantras tasya namani yani, they say. There is only one mantra. That is Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. This is the ultimate. That's why they say in Upanishads, they mention this. These are the only mantra, Maha Mantra, without which you cannot attain salvation in this Kali Yuga. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Eva Kevalam, Kalau, Nastyeva, Nastyeva, Nastyeva Gatiranyata. There is no other choice, there is no other choice, there is no other choice. They say 3 times. Nastyeva, Nastyeva, Nastyeva Gatiranyata. That is, Eko Devo, Devaki Putra Eva, Eko Mantraha Tasya Namani Yani. Karma Apyekam Tasya Devasya Seva. If there is any action to be done, if you have to do any service, there is only one service, that is Karma Apyekam Tasya Devasya Seva. You do service to Lord. Because God is everywhere. He is there in each and every human being also. In each and every living entity. So doing service to human, Janaseva, Janardana Seva, that is. So serving people, it is nothing but equal to serving God. Karmapekam tasya devasya seva. It is the ultimate. I would like to highlight one important word here. Everywhere they have given Eka, Eka, Eka. That is only one, only one. There is another meaning hidden here. Eka. What do you mean by Eka? I have told you in the beginning, I believe. The whole Samskrita is like abbreviation. The Sanskrit language itself is an abbreviation language. Ekaha, if you just split those 2 letters, what does it convey? Eka means one, that is general meaning that we know. But Ekaha means, if you make it as an abbreviation, it says that Yesha Eva Karoti iti Ekaha. We can come to that conclusion. Yesha Eva Karoti. Eka, that is Eshayeva Karoti. Without him, not even without his will, not even a blade of grass will shake on this earth. Trunamapina chalati tena vina. That philosophy is hidden in this word Eka. So beautiful it is. So this is the way how you should analyze the words. How you split the words. Eka. Ekam shastram devaki putra geetam. Eko devo devaki putra eva. Eko mantras tasya namani yani. Karma apyakam tasya devasya deva. Everywhere Eka is there. What is that Eka? Eka means one. That is one meaning there. But there is another hidden meaning there. That hidden meaning is very important. So how it explains the glory of Bhagavad Gita? The glory of God is explained in that word abbreviation Eka. Yeshayeva Karoti. Yeshayeva Karoti means he is the alone doer. We are not the doer. Naham karta hari karta. Tat puja sarvachakiram. Tathapi matkrita puja tat prasadena na anyatha. So beautiful. These are the phrases which says that I am not the doer. We are not the doer. We don't have any freedom. Because he should give or he should inspire us to do from within ourselves. That's why he is there everywhere. He is there outside, he is there inside God. That is Antar Bahishya Tat Sarvam Vyapya Narayana Stitaha Upanishad. See, all Upanishads, all Vedic wisdom, everything says the same thing. So he is there within everyone. Even Bible says he is within you, he is without you. What do you mean by that? He is everywhere. He is everywhere, but he is within you, he is without you, the Bible statement. The same thing which is told in Upanishad, Narayana Upanishad, which says that Antar Bahishya Tat Sarvam Vyapya Narayana Stitaha. So we must always praise that Lord who is everywhere. We must try to find God in each and every entity on this earth, in His creation. That's why Vidya Vinaya Sampanne, Brahmane Gavihastini, Shuri Chaiva Shvapake Panditaha Samadarshina. This is what the meaning of that Bhagavad Gita shloka, which says that Vidya Vinaya Sampanne, a person who is elevated or one who is intelligent, one who is called as Pandita. So he will look God in every way. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne, Brahmane, Gavi Hastini, even in elephant and even in cow, Shuni Chaiva Shvapaketa, even a low born caste person. Chandala, we say. Shunicha, Shvapaka. Shunicha means that is in dog. Shunicha means that is dog. Shvapaka means a person with low caste. That is who is downtrodden completely. So even in all these things, these are all God's creation only. We need to look samana. That means God is there everywhere. So we need to have this type of anusandhana. Ego devo devaki putra eva. Ego mantrastasya namani yani. Karma apekam tasya devasya seva. The service, only service is the service to God. Service to God, how do you do? Just by serving the people. Serving the people is equal to serving God. So that concept when we have, then definitely we will not commit any mistake. Pratah pravriti sayantam. Subhe se utne ka samay lekar. So that means pratah pravriti sayantam. Sayani pradarantatah. Yat karomi jagannatha tadastu tava pujanam. Everything is your service to you only. If we have that concept, where do we do mistake? We don't have any opportunity to do mistake. Because whatever we do, we have that conscious, that God conscious is there. That means whatever I am doing, it is the service to God. When you have this concept, you can never commit any mistake. If you think that yes, it is I am doing for myself, then you have all the chances to commit mistake. So this is what. So, Ego Devo Devaki Putra Eva. Ekaha, this is the meaning which gives. Eshayeva Karoti. He is the only one doing. So that's why Tena Vina Trunamapina Chalati. Not even a blade of grass will shake without his will. When a blade of grass cannot shake, then what about the whole earth? Everything is moving. So such a big process is happening. Can it happen without his will? So everything is, there is everything, the whole earth is moving like in a mathematics. If there is a perfect mathematics, there must be a mathematician behind that, no? This simple logic we should apply. Everything is happening, all the planets are held together with the gravitation, what we say. So how, why it is held like that? It is rotating Why disrotating? The sun will not come late. रोज हम उठने के लिए थोड़ा देर कर देते, संडे है आज सो जाएंगे 8 बजे तक सो जाएंगे, मगर if the sun thinks like that, he cannot even come late at all. Sunrise and sunset will happen exactly at the same time. He cannot take rest. If he takes rest, then we will completely rest. So the whole havoc will happen there, in the whole creation. So this is what, when there is a mathematics going on, the simple logic we should think that there is a mathematician behind that. Without a mathematician, mathematics cannot happen. Everything is happening like mathematics. So these are the 7 important, very, very important glory of Bhagavad Gita, what we must analyze and we must understand, we must do anusandhana, because we are yoga anusandhana samsthana here. You should know what is the meaning of the word anusandhana. Anusandhana means without knowing or without applying to your life, you cannot do anything here. Anything, whatever you do, first you know it, then believe in that, and then do it. This is the 3 principles, what I tell always to everyone. So these are the glories of Bhagavad Gita. After knowing the Bhagavad Gita glory, then I think we must enter into the Dhyana Shloka there. What is the Dhyana Shloka? One Shloka you chant regularly. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudravardhana. Before that, you have another one, Dhyana Shloka. The Dhyana Shloka meaning we must know. We are entering into the heart of Bhagavad Gita. Dhyana. That means we are preparing our mind, we are at the perfection of tuning our mind to Bhagavad Gita. Tuning yourself, tuning your mind to Bhagavad Gita there. That can happen only in Dhyana Shloka. Any mantra or any shloka, if you want to chant, these are the simple processes we have to follow. You need to tune your mind. The moment you say Dhyana Shloka, the moment you understand the concept of Dhyana Shloka, then your mind is pure. There is nothing in this world which can make you impure. Even if somebody comes and touches you, that person will become pure. You will not become impure if your purity is perfect. So many people think in the name of purity, just they take bath, they pour water on their head. Completely, they pour water everywhere. Even when they walk, they pour water and they step on that. So that much of jumping is not necessary. Purity is purity at mind, not purity at the external. External purification is necessary, but there is a limitation for that. Once you become pure mentally, then everything will become pure in and around you. That is why you say that apavitra pavitrova. When you say that without conviction, if you say that without knowing the meaning of this mantra, if you say apavitra pavitrova, then what type of purity will you get? So you must know apavitra pavitrova sarvavasthangadopiva. Sarvavastha, in whichever the state you are, everything becomes purified. Sarvavasthangadopiva. Yes, Mare Pundarikaksham. Sabhahya abhintarashchi. This is the idea. So Dhyana Shloka of Bhagavad Gita. Let me chant the Dhyana Shloka and we will know the meaning in my next opportunity. The Dhyana Shloka first, which says that Shantakaram, Bhujagashenam, Padmanabham, Suresham, Vishwadharam, Gaganasadrusham, Meghavarnam, Shubhangam, Lakshmi Kantam, Kamalanayanam, Yogivir Dhyanaganyam, Vande Vishnum Bhava Sarvalokaikanatham. Please contemplate on this shloka. Whatever the meaning you get, you just keep it with yourself. Whatever I say, then you can compare all those things. You will know how elevated you are, how much you can compare them. So let us contemplate on this shloka in my next opportunity. Till then, Hari Om.